What's up, everybody? It's the movie guy. I just finished the George Romero Resident Evil documentary on Tubi, which is fantastic. I am a diehard gamer. Resident Evil is one of my favorite video game series. When I first got the PlayStation 1, that was the first game I got. Was the one with the big case. And that was the game that made me into a hardcore gamer. You know, I had Nintendo and Super and 64 and all that stuff and everything, but Resident Evil was the game that really turned me into a hardcore gamer. And there wouldn't be no Resident Evil if it wasn't for George Romero, God rest his soul, the godfather of zombie movies. And just to hear about his script was the closest to a Resident Evil movie from the games that we've gotten. Like, it was going to have the Tiger, the Jules, like Chris, Jill, Albert Wesker, Barry Burton was going to be in, even though Chris was going to be Native American. I was like, what? And Barry was going to be black? I'm like, what is happening? Like, what? No. But it was going to have the snake and the spider, and it was going to have the tyrant and the hunters in it, and the sharks and the key cards and stuff. Like, this door's locked, and it was going to have like the herbs, and it just sounds awesome. And it sucks that George Romero got fired off of the project, which the 90s is weird. I don't know. Now we get zombie movies galore. You know, if George Romero was still alive today and they were like, hey, do a Resident Evil movie, you know, that would have, it would have, I guess it would have worked, but I don't know. I'm about ready to write a script. Like, seriously, I am about ready to write a script. I've been thinking about it for the last like week or two, and slap it on some executive desk and be like, you know, this is how you fucking do a Resident Evil movie. This is how. This is accurate to the game. Thank God Craig Mazin. Craig Mazin is a diehard Last of Us fan, and he made that first season to the point with some little bit of tweaks, but it looks exactly like the game. The music, everything. Maybe Craig Mazin should do the Resident Evil movies. I'm just scared about Zach Krieger, you know, because if you read his interviews, he's talking about like, oh, he want to do his own thing. It's going to be in the Resident Evil world, but it's gonna just, you know, have the feeling and stuff and everything, and it's probably not gonna have Jill and Chris and Albert Wesker, and not the mansion, and you know, I want to see. You know, I want to see those moments from the game. I want to see you unlocking the door and the door opens. I want to hear Moonlight Sonata. You know, I want to see all those moments from the game, like on the big screen. And Paul W.S. Anderson's interview on the documentary, but yet on the Blu-ray too, he said, well, we didn't really want to do, you know, the movie the way the games are, because then everybody would have known what happened to the characters. I'm like, that's what we want. We want to see those iconic characters on the big screen. And I'm just like, oh my God, like, seriously. It's like, look at what Craig Mazin did with Henry and Sam. They're in it. I mean, obviously not everybody is a gamer who's gonna watch the movie, or who's, you know, watches The Last of Us. Like, we know what's gonna happen to Henry and Sam. Like, we know their fate, you know, and it exactly played out. And I'm just like, I just don't understand how they just can't get it right when you have the source material right in front of you. Like, I don't understand it. Like, seriously. They need to get somebody who understands the game, who has played the games and said, hey, you know what? I want to make a true, accurate Resident Evil movie from the games. Could you imagine if they just stayed hardcore true to the games? Oh my God. It would be fantastic. Great script and everything. Oh, great casting. If you nailed the casting of Wesker and Jill and Chris and Rebecca Chambers and Joseph. Oh my God. Oh, I just hope in my lifetime they do get it right. Maybe the HBO Max just needs to do a series. Maybe. I don't know. Maybe they need to turn it into a series. I would have rather have like a 12 episode first season as a series, you could do so much more, but I don't know. I just, it frustrates me. It just frustrates me so much that we cannot get an accurate Resident Evil movie from the games. But I wish I, oh God, I'm gonna have to go online and actually read George Romero's script, like from page to page and stuff. Like that would be an awesome few hours to actually read the script and be like, wow, George got it. Because he watched his kids, or was his grandkids, I believe, played the game. So, and he did play a little bit of it. So I think the one that actually truly understands Resident Evil would be George Romero. So I don't know. It just frustrates me. It makes me so mad. It makes me so mad. But yeah, it's really interesting documentary. It would have been gory, which Resident Evil is a gory game. It would have had the zombie that turns around and looks at you when either Chris or Jill walks into the room. Oh my God, like it would have been awesome. It would have been awesome. So what is your guys' thoughts? Have you seen the documentary? Do you think George Romero would have did a great job making a Resident Evil movie? Are we going to get an accurate Resident Evil movie here in the next like 10, 20 years? You know, somebody that gets it? Oh, I just want to come out. It's almost like I just want to come out and be like, my God, they finally got it right. You know? I just don't understand it. It just boggles my brain when the source material is right there, right in front of you. Oh, man. Makes me so mad. I think they could have turned 7. Even if they would have, Zach Krieger says, hey, we're going to make Resident Evil 7. You know, that would have been freaking fantastic. Or if they would have done Village first, you know. And if it has been a huge success, they could have just signed them to a deal, whoever the director is, and be like, hey, we want you to do the series. Do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Even fucking do Veronica. I don't know. It just frustrates me. I know I keep saying that, but I'm just so frustrated as a gamer and diehard Resident Evil fan. Why can't they get the fucking movies right? But anyway, it's on Tubi. Check it out if you're a gamer, Resident Evil fan. It's awesome. Have a great day, everybody. Talk to you later.